Hey everybody and welcome. Today's video we're going to be talking about all the gear that I'm going to be taking on the Appalachian Trail. And before we get started, I'd like to let you know, number one, I'm on a budget. So I won't be naming off a lot of named brand items, though I did buy a couple. Two, a lot of this equipment I've had for several years, probably some of it since 2016, and I don't want to change it out because I really can't afford to. And some of it I had to change out just because it had holes in it or it wasn't working properly anymore, and we'll go over some of that. Without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, what's up everybody? As you can see, I've got my little trekking pole pointer stick here. I saw Peaks for Pound do this, so I totally want to do that. If you don't know who Peaks for Pound is, then you need to go check her channel out. Super excited to watch her hike this year. She's doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work. Shout out. All right, so to start, we're gonna start with our Osprey Atmos AG 65 liter bag here. This is the anti-gravity bag. This bag weighs in at about 4 pounds. This is the main upgrade that I did this year. I had an REI Flash 55, and it's an amazing bag. The Flash 55 is good for up to 25 pounds. So I upgraded the bag because I'm planning on carrying roughly 30 to 32 pounds this year total. That's with food and water. My base weight is right around 22 pounds, so I'm guessing I'll be a little over that, probably an extra 10 pounds over that with food and water. And this bag should be able to handle that. Moving right along, we've got my tent here with tent pole and the tent stakes. This is my Big Agnes tent. It's not in a Big Agnes pack, which is why you can't see the name like you can some of the other things. But this weighs all together, weighs in at like 3.5 pounds, I think. I'm going with that because I already had it. I already had the Big Agnes tent. I bought it 2 years ago. I had a dog back then. I explained this in another video. She was gonna come hiking with me on the whole trail. We weren't able to do that. She's not gonna be able to come. And so I'm stuck with this tent. Not necessarily stuck with this tent. I absolutely love this tent, but I could go lighter, but I'm not going to because I don't wanna spend, number one, I don't want to spend another $200 on a decent tent, on a decent trekking pole tent, and I certainly don't want to spend $500 on a Z-Pack tent or something like that. So we're sticking with the Big Agnes, right? This little guy here, this is just my pillow. It's just inflatable pillow there. It's not very heavy at all, so I don't really consider that a luxury item. A lot of people are like, oh, that's my luxury item. I don't really consider that my luxury item, right? This here is Alpine Ridge Outfitters. This is my sleeping pad. I had to upgrade that because my old sleeping pad got a hole in it, and I'll be pairing that with my Thermarest pad here. I'm also going to be using this. I decided to go with a dual pad system. One so that I would have this while I take my breaks during the day. I hate not having a pad to sit on, or I should say I'm always jealous of the people that do have a pad to sit on. So I'm going to be taking that and pairing it with my air pad, right? At night, and I've done that before and it actually works out quite well. This is my sleeping bag. Camper box sleeping bag. This is I believe it's 0 degrees Celsius, which would be like 32 degrees Fahrenheit down bag. You can actually get these at Walmart for like $85, but I got this off at Temu for $30. So if it super sucks, I'm not that worried about it because I really didn't spend that much money on it. I have a Marmot 50 degree bag, or is it a 40 degree bag? I don't remember which, but I have a Marmot that goes down. I think it's a 40 degree bag. I think it's gonna be a little bit colder than that this year when I start the trail. So I decided to go with a down bag, and I'll keep this until it gets too warm, and then I'll send it back home and get my Marmot sent to me. This here is my puffer jacket, Fit Space puffer jacket. Nothing too fancy. Cost me about $50, I think. And yeah, it'll dual as extra loft for my pillow while sleeping. So yeah. This is just my rain gear. This is just a traditional Coleman rain gear. Nothing super fancy. Not Coleman. Colombian rain gear. I didn't go too fancy with it. It was like a $60 jacket and probably the same for the pants. This, I'm carrying one knee brace. Though both of my knees kind of mess up every once in a while, I'm only gonna carry one brace. As you can see right next to that, I've got my GoPro, which I will be taking. I know most people do all of their filming with their phone, which is what I'm doing this film with. However, there are times where I really enjoy using the GoPro and it, like, you know, water, things like that. There's just sometimes the GoPro just takes much better pictures, and I'm super excited to use that on the trail. So that's my luxury item. That's my main, probably my biggest luxury item. Of course, I got my headlamp here, and then this is just a head attachment for the GoPro. And like, I'm thinking maybe in the New England states or something like that, that I might strap my GoPro to my head and do some of the scrambling. We'll see. I got a pair of gloves there, because it does get cold. Got my tripod. So this is like an extendable tripod slash selfie stick, and I can use my GoPro or my phone with it. Got my, look at that, the name, right? Ha 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 ha. Got my namesake on my beanie, had to do that. So this here is a battery bank for my GoPro. For the batteries for the GoPro. It works just like an AirPod battery bank, right? This little thing opens up and then you just stick the batteries in there, and then it just recharges the batteries while you're using the other battery. Then I've got my Anchor battery bank there. That's a 20,000 milliamp battery bank. And then of course you got some toothpaste, my toothbrush, and floss, which I would highly recommend you taking. I carry deodorant. I don't care what anybody else carries or doesn't carry. I like to smell like deodorant. It makes me feel better. Even if there's stench around my clothes, it makes me feel better. This is my little first aid kit. In here we've got waterproof tape. We've got some alcohol swabs. We got a couple of big Band-Aids, a couple of little Band-Aids, and Ace bandage. That's pretty much all I carry as far as first aid goes. If I need anything other than those things, I'm just gonna go to town probably. That's just what it is. If I have an injury that those can't handle, then I probably need to go to town anyway. I'm allergic to wasps, so I have to carry an EpiPen. I have never had anaphylactic shock from a wasp, but this is just in case. I've never been stung in the neck either, so if that was to happen, something, you know, it could potentially be really bad for me. So I'll carry an EpiPen, and then of course toilet paper. For my filtration system, I've got my Sawyer, and as you can see, used for one trip so far, so there's still plenty of usage on that. This is my little stove here, little titanium pot. It's not my stove, sorry. This is my little titanium pot, super lightweight. Got a cup there. That's like a retractable cup. It's pretty neat. Check it out. All right. And it pops up into like a full cup. It's got measurements on the inside. I will also be carrying some Sea to Summit Wilderness Wash, multi-purpose wash. This is to wash my butt and my clothes and my dishes. Got my tiny little sponge there to wash out my dish. I got this is my stove here, is the MSR. I've had this since 2016 and I won't be changing it anytime soon. I absolutely love this thing, it's amazing. Got my titanium spoon. These are just your traditional foam earplugs because it gets kind of loud in the woods sometimes. And then just a knife and a Leatherman multi-tool. And then of course, these are just Walmart trekking poles. And the big guy, the bear canister. So, let you guys in on a little secret. I actually already have done my shakedown hike video, which will be coming up soon. Stay tuned for that. However, during that hike, I learned that I do not want to carry this. So, though it is in my current gear list, this will be getting changed out for an Ursack. I like the bear canister and it works. However, it's extremely heavy. This thing is almost 3 pounds just by itself, and I cannot justify carrying it. Even though I've had a bear experience. So yeah, gonna be switching over to the Ursack. So it's in the gear list because that's what I currently use, but I will be switching over. And that pretty much does it for NASA's gear list on this 2024 hike. All right, everybody, and that does it for today's video. If you guys have any other questions about any other gear that I might be bringing, or like if you would like to see a fashion show, let me know. I'd probably be willing to do that. Yeah, drop a follow, subscribe. We're going out on the Appalachian Trail this year, you guys. And if you want to follow along, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Super excited about this. See you guys on the trail.
Afraid at this point, I don't know how to proceed.
So awkward.
Wanted to say goodbye.
Bye.